Hello, hi, I'm Cryptic Hybrid and this is Ghost 5. Now Ghost 5 is a point-and-click adventure game in which you have to uncover the mystery of a planet where colonists keep dying. Now this game is based on a short story by Robert Sheckley from 1954, and it's a game that was made in just 2 weeks for the Adventure Jam of 2022. We're gonna check it out together because it looks really sweet. Let's begin. My name is Richard Gregor and I'm an idiot. The mess I'm in right now all started with Mr. Ferngraum. He was the first client to set foot inside our office in the 3 months we'd been in operation, we being myself and my longtime friend, Frank Arnold. Ferngraum told Frank and me that he was a freelance real estate broker and he had a planet he was trying to sell. However, this planet of his, despite seemingly ideal for human habitation, was causing some serious problems. Every group of settlers who had tried to make a home for themselves there had met with a terrible, inexplicable fate. Ferngraum wanted this planet investigated and decontaminated, and me and Frank, the sole operators of the AAA ACE Interplanetary Decontamination Service, jumped at the chance. The plan was for me to be dropped off on Ferngraum's planet, where I would set up camp, investigate the previous settlements, and see if I could find what was causing all the trouble. The planet's government catalog number was RJC5, but the name most people called it was Ghost 5. And that's us going there. Oh, this doesn't look that bad. This is certainly a beautiful planet. Why would those poor settlers do what they did in a place like this? What do we have? Blaster. My blaster. Okay. Light cloud cover, about 71 degrees, and apparently it's like this for most of the year on this planet. Oh, settlement, there we go. Yep, that looks like the place Ferngraum described. I just wish that space fighter would have dropped me off a bit closer. Well, let's go. Yes, continue to the settlement. Well, I guess I better start walking if I want to get to the camp before sundown. The settlement I arrived at was the second one on Ghost 5, set up by a group of sun worshippers from Opal 2. The first settlement was set up by a group of farmers from Dijon 6. Within a day of landing here, they were radioed in for help, saying that they were being attacked by all sorts of impossible entities: demons, ghouls, vampires, dinosaurs, practically any sort of nightmare creature you'd care to name. When a relief ship came for the farmers, however, they were all dead, and the cuts, gashes and marks that covered their bodies were as real as could be. Ferngraum was fined for improper decontamination after that, but he still managed to lease Ghost 5 to the Opalians. They were more cautious. They sent their equipment, but only 3 men accompanied it to scout out trouble. The men set up camp here, unpacked, and declared the place a paradise. After setting up cabins for the rest of the party, they radioed the home group to come at once. Then suddenly, there was a wild scream and radio silence. A patrol ship came to Ghost 5, but stayed just long enough for the crew to bury the 3 mangled bodies. There was definitely something going on this planet, and like it or not, I was going to find out what it was. It's a supply crate. These cabins are beautiful, but they look so lonely with no one to live in them. These prefab cabins look so immaculate, it's as if they were assembled yesterday. If the climate on Ghost 5 is as mild as Ferngraum said it was, these cabins will probably look just as unweathered for decades. The first cabin I checked out had nothing in it but several stacks of supply crates. I decided to keep looking for one that was a bit more livable. The second cabin I stepped inside was almost as threadbare as the first. I decided to keep looking for another spot to set up camp. Inside the third cabin was a mansion compared to the first 2, running water, a small bed, and even a decent sized closet. I took my backpack full of supplies inside, unpacked, and set up an alarm system around the perimeter. I radioed Frank to let him know I made it safely, then ate supper. By then, it was almost sunset, and I was getting pretty tired. Well, this looks pretty cozy. No point in turning a light on when I'm about to go to bed. It's the front door. Just a chair. It's my radio. Storage closet. My stuff. It's sure gotten dark fast. Good thing I got everything set up in time. Huh. Box of toys? Toys. They must have been brought here for the settlers' kids. Well, never used. Not the most luxurious of beds, but it sure looks appealing right now. Can I go outside though? I'll explore the settlement tomorrow. Right now, I need to get some rest. I shouldn't call Frank again unless it's really important. Empty. Alright, let's go to bed then. Yeah. I threw my clothes onto a chair and climbed into bed, slipping my blaster under my pillow. I'd barely dozed off when I realized that something was wrong. What? What the hell? Wait, what is that? There's someone standing there, but I didn't hear the alarm go off. Get a blaster? Is the place where... Yeah, get the blaster! In that moment, the only thing that registered was that there was someone else in the cabin with me. I slipped my blaster out from under the pillow. Okay, raise your hands. Oh, Jesus. My clothes on a chair. That's all that intruder was. Clothes. Not the man standing next to the wall, just my... What the... The clothes are attacking me? What the hell? So there is... Sleep was completely off the table at that point. I turned on the light and made myself a pot of strong coffee. I was tempted to go outside and kick my useless alarm system to pieces, but instead I decided to call Frank Arnold. And the clothes didn't stop moving until I blasted them all to ashes. Oh, that's very interesting. Spontaneous movement of inanimate objects. Very interesting indeed. I hoped it would amuse you. Did anything else happen? Nope, not yet. Well, take care. I got a theory. I just have to do some research on it. Oh, by the way, Rick, some crazy bookie is laying 5 to 1 against you. Really? Yep, I took a piece of it. Did you bet for me or against me? For you, of course. We're partners, aren't we? Yes, we are. In a way, it was comforting to know that Frank had bet on me, even though he was a notoriously bad gambler. By daylight, I was able to get a few hours of sleep. I got up in the late afternoon and decided to make a thorough search of the Sun Worshippers' camp for anything that might shed some light on what was going on. Well, I'm going outside. That should be nice. Oh, this is the alarm system. That worked like hell. East or west? Let's go east. A pile of crates. The settlers sure picked a great spot to set up camp. Going for a swim isn't going to help me figure out what's wrong with this planet. Just another cabin. Aside from a couple of unpacked crates, there was nothing inside that cabin. Back to my cabin. The inside of that cabin was completely empty. Northeast. That's quite a view. Wish I had the time to relax and enjoy it. Southeast. Oh, hello. What's this? Gaskilt? That's a strange word. Maybe Frank could find out what it means. And look, there's a broken window. Somebody scrolled the word Tasket, something like that, on the wall of this cabin. It doesn't look like they were in the best condition when they did. Huh. Return to my cabin, yeah. The word Gasket split meant nothing to me, but I hurried back to my cabin and relayed it to Frank right away. By then, sundown was nearing. I checked my alarm system, recharged my blaster, then sat down and tried to think. It's a good thing he recharged his blaster. There was no animal life here, nor were there any walking plants. intelligent rocks or giant brains dwelling on the planet's core. Ghost 5 didn't even have a moon for someone to hide on. And I couldn't believe in something like ghosts or demons. Supernatural entities and events always seem to break down once a scientist shows up with cameras and other recording equipment. I don't know how long I sat there trying in vain to find an explanation for what had happened the previous night. But suddenly I realized that I wasn't alone. Oh no, what? What the hell? Hello? Hello? Who are you? I am the purple stripped grabber. I grab things. How interesting. I grab things named Richard Gregor. That's me. And I usually eat them in chocolate sauce. The monster gestured to the enormous jar it was carrying. The label reads, Smig's Chocolate, an ideal sauce to use with Gregors, Arnolds, and Flynn's. You're planning to eat me? Oh yes. The creature continued staring at me with some unnerving eyes, and in that moment of terror, time appeared to stand still. Can I shoot it? My blaster shot hit the thing square in the chest and bounced right off. That won't hurt me, silly Gregor. The thing advanced towards me with slow, heavy steps. I was dimly aware of my blaster slipping from my trembling fingers and clattering on the floor. Don't worry, I'm not going to eat you now. No? No, I can only eat you tomorrow on May 1st. Those are the rules. I just came to ask for a favor. What is it? Will you be a good sport and eat a few apples? They flavor the flesh so wonderfully. Okay. I radioed Frank to tell him everything that had happened. By then he suspected what was going on, but he wanted me to carry out some sort of experiment before he explained everything. Alright, Frank, now tell me what's going on. Certainly. I look up the word Gastlik. It's Opalian. It means many-toothed ghost. And, well, the sun worshippers were from Opal. What does that suggest to you? I don't know, maybe they were killed by ghosts from Opal that stowed away on their ship? No, I'm pretty sure we're not dealing with ghosts here. What about my clothes coming to life and trying to strangle me then? Think, Rick, doesn't that remind you of anything? Well, when I was a kid... No, that's ridiculous. Out with it? Well, when I was a kid, I never left clothing on a chair. In the dark, it always looked like a man or a monster or something. I guess everyone's had that experience, but it doesn't explain... Well, sure it does. Remember the purple striped grabber now? No, why should I? Because you invented him, remember? What? Yeah. You must have been 8 or 9, you and me and Jimmy Flynn. We invented the most horrible monster you could think of. He was our own personal monster and he only wanted to eat you or me or Jimmy, flavored with chocolate sauce. But only on the 1st of every month, when the report cards were due. You had to use the magic word to get rid of him. I remember the grabber then, and wonder how I could have ever forgotten. The number of nights I had stayed up in fearful expectation of that creature made bad report cards seem so unimportant. How's that solution going? Is it boiling? Yeah, it is. What color is it? It's a sort of greenish blue. No, it's more blue than... Oh, right. You can pour it out. I want to run a few more tests, but I think I've got it licked. Got what licked? It's obvious. The planet has no animal life. There are no ghosts, or at least none solid enough to kill off a party of armed men. Hallucination must be the answer, so I looked for something that would produce it, and I found plenty. Aside from all the drugs on Earth, there are about a dozen hallucination-forming gases in the catalog of alien trace elements. This particular one corresponds to Longstead 42 in the catalog. It's heavy, transparent, odorless glass, not harmful physically. It's an imagination stimulant. You mean I was just having hallucinations? Well, not quite that simple. See, Longstead 42 works directly on the subconscious. It releases your strongest subconscious fears, the childhood terrors you've been suppressing. It animates them, and that's what you've been seeing. Then there's actually nothing there. Well, nothing physical, but the hallucinations are real enough to whoever is having them. It won't be hard to decontaminate Ghost 5. We can cancel the Longstead 42 easily. And then, we'll be rich, partner! Yes, we'll be... Wait a minute. If they're just hallucinations, what happened to the settlers? Well, Longstead may have a tendency to simulate what they call the death instinct. They must have gone crazy and killed each other. And no survivors? Well, the last ones alive most likely committed suicide or died from their wounds. But what about... Relax, Rick. I'm chartering a ship immediately and coming out to run those tests. I'll pick you up in a day or two. Okay. I was feeling pretty good after hearing the news from Frank, although I still slept very little the rest of the night. When I woke up late the following day, his ship hadn't arrived, so I packed up my equipment and waited. Before long, night had come again, and I still couldn't shake the mystery of how those settlers had died. Then, just as I was contemplating going to sleep, let me see, the grabber came? Of course. Hello. Hello, old chap. Did you eat the apples? Sorry, I forgot. Oh well, I brought the chocolate sauce. You can leave now. I know you're just a figment of my imagination. You can't hurt me. Oh, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to eat you. The grabber approached me. I stayed where I was, still smiling at it. Ow! In that moment, I remember how the colonists had been gashed, torn, and ripped. I also remembered an exhibition of hypnotism I had once seen where the hypnotist told the subject that he was putting a lighted cigarette on his arm, then touched the subject's arm with a pencil. Within seconds, an angry red blister had appeared on the subject's arm because he believed he had been burned. If your subconscious thinks you're dead, you're dead. If it orders the stigmata of tooth marks, there they are. I don't believe in the grabber, but my subconscious did. Well, I didn't believe. I made a dash for the door, but it was too late. You're not real. Hush. I don't believe in you. Be quiet. You're just a hallucination. Shut up, morsel. The magic word, what was it? Alfoisto? Wrong word. Please don't squirm. Patamatonga? Nope. Stop ringing and it'll be over before you know it. Marfouche? Wrong again. Hold still now. Vorspil, whatever this, Hapilo? Oh, that was it? That was the right word? In one moment the grabber released me, in the next it vanished. That had been close. Too close. It would have been a particularly stupid way to die, killed by my own imagination. It was also stupid of me to assume that the worst was over at that moment. Oh, what now? What now? Where did that come from? The door? With a shudder, I realized that crackle had come from the now half-open closet door, and that sight touched off an almost forgotten memory from my childhood. Oh, what monster now? It was the Shadower, another creature of my own creation, a strange, thin, grisly creature who hid in doorways, slept under beds, and attacked only in the dark. Turn out the light. Not a chance. You'd better turn it off. No. Very well. Go, my little ones. What the hell? They're going after the light. No, the light! The light! I can't reach them. Those little creatures are eating the light. I've got to stop them before it gets any darker. Shoot them? But be careful. Be careful, dude. Yes, I got him. Oh, I got him, alright. Unfortunately, I realized too late that my imagination had tricked me again. I'd only imagined those creatures turning the room dark, and now I had destroyed the only thing that was keeping me safe from the Shadower. Shit. The Shadower emerged from its hiding place. I fired at it again and again with my blaster, but it still kept coming. As I backed away, I tried frantically to think of the magic word that would banish the shadower, then remembered that there were no magic words that could do that. Then once more, I was trapped. Water pistol. I had backed up against the crate of toys, not the sort of place I'd picture myself meeting my death. Can you grab it? My hand touched one of the toys, a water pistol. As I picked it up and numbly stared at it, the shadower stopped in its tracks. It even seemed to wince slightly. Shoot it! The pistol's empty. Shit. Fill it up with the sink? I scrambled to the sink, filled the water pistol, whirled around and fired. Really? Was that simple? Just a water pistol? Well, it is a childhood monster. Of course, a water pistol was just the right weapon to use against an imaginary monster. Jesus. Frank arrived early the following day. By midday, he'd finished his various tests, and the element causing this madness was definitely established as Longstead 42. After that, we packed up immediately and blasted off. And as usual, I told him everything that had happened. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so what's going to go wrong here now? Wow, pretty rough. Could have been worse. How? Well, suppose Jimmy Flynn were here. There was a kid who could really dream up monsters. There was a kid who could dream up monsters. Remember the Grumbler? All I remember is the nightmare it gave me. I'd say count yourself lucky then. Speaking of which, I need sleep. I haven't had a decent night's rest since I landed on the damn planet. Oh, of course, sweet dreams. I'm gonna dream another weird monster now. Rick? Rick! What? I think there's something in the control room. No, it can't be. We're off the... Oh no. What is it? What's going on? Rick, I left the airlocks open when I landed. We're still breathing Ghost 5 air. Uh-oh, what the The thing that appeared in the doorway made the grabber and the shadower seem like nothing. I immediately recognized it as the Grumbler, and I could see in Frank's horrified face that he recognized it as well. We should be safe in here. That door is airtight. But how will we pilot the ship if we can't get to the control room? Well, we won't. We'll have to trust the autopilot. Unless we can figure out some way of getting that thing out of... what was that? Ah, crap. You remember, don't you? The Grumbler can get in any room. There's no way of keeping it out. I don't remember anything about it. Does it eat people? No. As I recall, it just mangles them thoroughly. Run! Run! This is ridiculous. Haunted by an imaginary monster? Wait, you still got that water pistol, don't you? Yes, but... give it to me! Okay. Frank took the water pistol and filled it at a nearby water tank. Then... It didn't work! Crap. We're running out of doors, Frank. Isn't there something you can do about the atmosphere? It's dissipating now, but it takes about 20 hours for the effects of Longstead to wear off. Did you make an antidote? No? How can we kill it? There must be a way. Magic words? How about a wooden sword? No, those won't work. What kills it then? I remember the Grumbler now. It can't be destroyed by water pistols, cap guns, firecrackers, slingshots, stink bombs, or any other childhood weapon. It's absolutely unkillable. That Jimmy Flynn and his damned imagination. Why do we have to mention him? How do we get rid of it then? I told you, you don't. It just has to go away on its own accord. Crap. Think, Rick. No kid invents a monster without a defense of some kind. Think! Think! Punks? Or bunks? Use them? As the Grumbler began to solidify again, I thought back over all the midnight horrors I had ever known. I must have done something as a child to neutralize the power of the unknown. And then, almost too late, I remembered. What? Hide under the bed, maybe? Oh, it would be funny if we were all dead. Hello? What's going on? Hello? Monsters? Are we alive? Are we dead? We're alive. All clear, Frank. The grumbler's gone. Huh. Well, that's one planetary decontamination assignment in the bag for the AAA ACE Interplanetary Decontamination Service. Makes me wonder what other assignment we might get into the future. Honestly, Frank, I'd rather not do any sort of imagining for a long time. But you're still up for it, right? Yes, we are partners after all. Yes, indeed. Jesus. Just like I said at the beginning of the story, I'm an idiot. And that was everyone. That was Ghost 5. Short but sweet experience. Definitely like the visual style, and it reminds me of, you know, the old school, like, you know, maybe 1940s and 50s sci-fi movies. And you know, it does have a happy ending, so that was really good. It kind of made me think a little bit of Event Horizon, the movie from the 90s, because that had a different view, but like a different source of evil, but still, you know, kind of reminds me a little bit of this. But that was everyone. That was Ghost 5. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up real quick. And if you like what I do here, subscribe, check out the back catalog, check out YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, because I'm on all those platforms, and you can discover tons and tons of cool games if you go on there. And after you do that, please take just half a minute to see the ways to which you can support me so I can continue doing gaming coverage and more for a very long time. The best way to support me is to join my locals community at cryptichybrid.locals.com. The link is also in the description below. You can join for free and you know, become a member and get all the public posts that I make on there, or you can become a supporter. It's $4 a month, and for those $4 a month, you get tons of perks like early access to videos, you get support-only live streams, you get to decide what I play every Monday on live stream, you get behind-the-scenes content, you get to ask questions for future interviews that I do, you participate in game giveaways, all sorts of perks. cryptichybrid.locals.com. Other ways to help out are all in the description below. Thank you so much everyone for watching. This has been Ghost 5, an entry for the Adventure Jam of 2022. And until the next time we see each other, sweet dreams and have an awesome day.